I think I'm in like the third grade. I was in the third, fourth split, which meant I was a third grader in a fourth grade class, which meant you couldn't tell me nothing, right? I was already smarter than everybody in the school. And so me and one of my friends, we went and we called ourselves going over to some little girl's house afterwards, right? We call ourselves going, instead of coming home, because we had a half a day, we gonna go over there and hang out with them for a couple of hours. No problem, just go on and do it. Well, all of a sudden, they didn't call the police looking for us. They just knew that they didn't know where we were. They were just trying to figure it out. And I still remember when I made it across Pearson Road and I got to the corner of Pearson Road and Aubrey, and I saw my friend's brother pull up. And he said, you might as well get in the car because y'all about to get your butt whooped. And as soon as he said the word whoop, I took off running. And I ran home, believing that somehow my ability to run home would stop what would happen if I had got in that car.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I got it, he got it, and it was one of them, sometimes you got discipline that has a ranking to it, right? And this discipline is in my top 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
One of those memorable ones.
Yeah. It was one of them top 5 ones that I have never forgotten, even to this day. And so, again, the idea of it, we thought we knew, even when we had our eyes open, we still didn't understand and or recognize what was going on, even though, Willie, we were given some freedom, there were yet still boundaries within the freedom that we had received.
Yeah.
So I want to take a quick break, y'all. And when we come back, we're going to move from hindsight to insight. What does this mean for us today, y'all? You're listening to The Front Porch. We'll be right back with you.
My grandma always says everyone counts, and everyone who lives with us is special. Like my aunt, who took me on my first bus ride to the library, or my older cousin, who walked me to my first day of school, even my mom's friend and her baby who lived with us.
The census informs funding for schools, roads, healthcare, and more. So count everyone in your home, including all children on the 2020 census. It's your chance to help them for the next 10 years. You can respond online, by phone, or by mail. Shape your future. Start here. Learn more at 2020census.gov.
And we're back, y'all, with The Front Porch. We've been talking about this idea of kittens open their eyes after 7 days, and some people never open their eyes. We just spent a few moments talking about the hindsight. Now we're talking about insight. What does that word have for us today? And we're going to have Todd start us off. So, Todd, give me something applicable because of that to help us today.
When I think about it, man, I think about it's a developmental proverb, right? That each day that kitten is maturing, getting fed, getting nurtured, being provided safety. And then after the 7th day, they come to a point that at some place in that development, they can begin to take more responsibility, more ownership of their well-being. So for me, what does that look like today, right? We have people, man, right now, I ain't gonna say 45th, that don't want to take ownership, man, of their behavior, don't want to take ownership of what's going on around them. Still want somebody what? To feed them, right? To take care of them, right? To nurture them, right? To cater to all their needs, man. That's a sign of immaturity as well as irresponsibility. So for me, a person right now, man, that depends on other people to take care of them, and I'm not saying the non-able-bodied person, right? I'm talking about the person, man, who is fully able based on the proverb of 7 days. You should be able to take care of yourself, choosing not to.
That's a great point. Yeah, I want to build on that. I mean, I think Todd hit the nail on the head, because insight also teaches you that because your elders took care of you, when you know that there are people in your community who need taken care of, part of you opening your eyes is recognizing that you have a responsibility. and that you're accountable to them to do that. Now, we know that in a lot of cases that, I mean, most of us know that we're supposed to take care of our children and other children that are in our community. But I want to remind us of something that we all learned as we were growing up. There were certain people in our neighborhood that were off limits, right? Children, women, and the elderly. Children, women, and the elderly. In its sight, when you open your eyes, you recognize that no matter how bad things get, you still have to protect those people. And I think we've gotten away from that, right? Because when you really understand your role as a man, when you really understand your role as a part of God's kingdom, then we have a responsibility to care for those who can't care for themselves.
All right. Come on, Willie, jump in.
All right. Well, for me, I was thinking that the kittens opening their eyes refers to goals, because the goal of the kitten is to see after 7 days. Well, this can go toward any goal that you have in life. And the second part, that some people never open their eyes, I think that goes to the fact that it's okay to make mistakes and keep trying again, because like most things in life, you don't get it on the first try. Like Patrick was saying about that butt whooping. I'm sure that wasn't the first one. I'm sure that wasn't the last one he got. But
it was a memorable one, though.
Yeah, but you can still it's okay to make a mistake, and as long as you learn from it and keep going and don't do it again.
Well, at least, that's the hope anyway. So think of it this way, y'all. For me, the insight is that there are going to be things that I can't see, right? All of us have blind spots that are outside of our purview, and that if we turn our head too long in any different direction, we could lose sight of what's really in front of us. And because of that, what ends up happening, we begin to settle. We look too long to the left, and left is a pathway that leads toward prison. We look so long to the right, and we know that the right leads us toward the graveyard. But then to really look up front is scary, because we realize that the amount that I need to change, I don't know if I have it in me to do. I don't know if I want to. Todd, I'm going back to what you said, that while I understand that I should be doing better, sometimes it's simply easier for me to close my eyes and pretend like I don't have to change, that I literally can stay right here.
Hey, I remember one of my mentors told me a long time ago, he said, everybody has a choice, but guess what? To not choose is to choose.
There you go.
And so you kind of hit it on the head, Patrick. Our families, man, they came from the South, right? And they came to give us a better life, because in the South, they knew what? There was a risk of us being lynched. Let's just put it out there, right?
That's right.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And so they said, maybe I can save my family, my son's life, if I move to the North. But that concern, man, that urgency, man, that preservation mentality still was with them. And so when they saw, man, danger that we could not see, man, that brought fear to them, man. That reminded them, like, them times when they were down south, man, when they saw somebody one day, the next day they saw them in a different place, right? And they were gone, man. So for me, I think the insight is, do what I tell you to do, because you don't see what I see based on my experience, right?
That's good.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that we have to remember. And let me just